If your plan takes a spreadsheet to track, or you feel like doing all of this is your job, I understand it can feel that way. It's too much. And we want to back off and we want to simplify. Where do you need to simplify? Look at where you are. Let's simplify your habits. Gaining belly fat in perimenopause and menopause, even while eating trim healthy and doing all the right things. Feeling exhausted, inflamed, and so done with the scale? Hey, I'm Chris Honeycutt, Jesus follower, trim healthy coach, and your midlife hype girl. I believe God didn't design you to live stuck, bloated, or burned out. This podcast helps you partner with your hormones, ditch the belly fat, and finally feel strong, calm, and confident in a body you actually enjoy living in. Hey friend, before we dive into today's episode, I've got something exciting to share. Starting Monday, November 17th, I'm running my Black Friday flash sale, and these are the biggest deals I've ever offered, designed to help you finish the year strong instead of starting over in January. You'll be able to grab 31 days of Fitmas for just $31. That's a full month of 20 to 30 minute workouts, daily encouragement, and my pre-post workout fueling guide to help you stay consistent through December. And if you've had your eye on my 6-month midlife fat loss formula, this week it is $400 off for my Black Friday sale only. But here's the thing, these offers don't go live until Monday, and my email subscribers are always the first to know. So hop on to my newsletter list at getyourtrimon.com/newsletter, and you'll be the first to get the links, the details, and the early access before everyone else does. All right, let's get into today's show because we're setting you up to head into the holidays strong, confident, and at peace with your body. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Menopause Makeover, aka the Honey Cast, where I am bringing some honey nuggets into your life that will help you feel better, lose weight, show up the way you want to, and overall, just live your best second half. Today, I'm talking about one of the comments that I hear a lot, and I did struggle with this in the past, but I have to tell you that because I've been practicing this thing, I've gotten a little bit better at it. And so today I want to talk to you about how you can get better at being consistent. So let's talk about 5 ways to stay consistent or more, and finally lose belly fat in midlife. So we are going to dive into this topic because I hear you guys saying, I know what to do, I just can't seem to stay consistent. Some of you are, I really don't know what to do, and I still can't stay consistent. So I think the first place to start here is, what is consistency? How are we developing this in our life? So if this sounds familiar, let's just take a deep breath. You can do this. You're a human being, and you are capable of learning and growing, and you are capable of building the skill of consistency, which is showing up. Just showing up. Does it mean show up perfectly all the time? No, it does not. It means keep showing up. So when it comes to the belly fat loss in midlife, perfection is not the secret sauce. It is staying consistent enough to create momentum. So let's talk about 5 or more, I might throw a few in there at the end, ways for you to cultivate the skill of being consistent. First of all, anchoring your actions to your identity is key for any transformation that you are looking for. We are transformed by the renewal of our mind. That's how we are transformed. And if we are not thinking how God thinks about us, and we are thinking in our humanness, in our own mind, in our own flesh, if we are thinking those thoughts, we are not going to be able to live from that place of faith, and we're not going to be able to enter into that place of consistency, because everything flows from who you believe you are. And if you don't believe, you cannot be consistent. And this is what I hear from you guys. You won't be able to. If you keep saying, I'm not consistent, your brain will look for proof of that, and that's what you will continue to create in your life. But if you instead decide, here's who I am, here's who I am growing into, here's my confession. It is, I am a woman who follows through. I am a woman who nourishes her body daily. When your identity shifts, your actions start lining up with it without that inner struggle. So how do we even do this? I remember when this became a reality for me, I did not believe that I could be consistent. I did not believe that I could figure out how to do my Trim Healthy plan, my eating plan, and that it would really work for me, because what I was doing was actually not working for me. And that's my story. That was, this isn't working. This is never going to work. I'm never going to figure this out. This is so frustrating. And I would stay in that frustrated spot until I started learning this when I started working with a life coach about identity. And then of course it shifted into my faith and identity in Christ. But I was identifying as a poor little orphan girl, pretty much. I was identifying as powerless instead of powerful, because I was looking at my past. I was looking at what I was creating, was looking at some of the choices I made and some of the results, and I didn't like it. And so therefore I made that mean I am just this. I am just lazy, or I am just unmotivated, or I am just not smart enough to figure this out. And when I began to look at who I am in Christ, I began to have a transformation. And this was a renewal of my mind. This was not a listen to a podcast and then start doing this. This was something I started practicing every day. I wrote a vision down. Who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And I began to start speaking those things over myself, even though I wasn't there yet. And that's what I would say. I'm not lying. I'm just creating a new self. And it started with, this is kind of my first identity shift. Instead of, I'm going to stay on plan or on this diet, I'm going to, muscle through these exercises. Like, instead of saying that, I started saying, I am the woman who nourishes and moves her body well. I nourish and move my body. Instead of, I'm on this diet and I'm trying to do this particular workout program, I shifted to, I'm nourishing. Am I nourishing and moving my body today? Am I nourishing my body at this meal? I became the woman who started to do that, because I started saying that and identifying with that, even though I wasn't there yet. And if my brain told me, oh, you're not there yet, you're fake, I would say, I am cultivating this. I am learning how to do this. And so anchor your actions to your identity. Second, simplify your plan. I can't say this enough. If you want to be consistent, we've got to keep it simple. And if your plan takes a spreadsheet to track, or you feel like doing all of this is your job, I understand it can feel that way. It's too much. And we want to back off and we want to simplify. So each of you are at different levels. If I got on a call with 12 of you, you would each be at a different level. Some of you would be doing half the things, some of you 3/4 of the things, some of you none of the things, somewhere. So I can't necessarily say exactly where to start, but where do you need to simplify? Look at where you are. Let's simplify your habits. Let's maybe start with protein. Are you getting protein at every meal? Maybe you are eating breakfast. Let's start with 3 meals a day and maybe a snack if you need that. Are you moving your body? Let's start with that. If you're doing that, let's start with strength train. Let's start with 1 time a week. And I know your brain will be like, that's just not enough. Every single action that you take, an investment in your health, is going to get you there. It is enough. It's enough when you're consistent, because you're going to build these habits over time. So I love to say, okay, I'm learning to be consistent. It takes practice, so I'm going to need to practice it. 2, I'm going to simplify. Ask your brain this. How can I simplify XYZ? Whether it's your nutrition or movement or weight loss, hormones, whatever it is, how can I simplify this? And if your brain goes, I don't know, say, what if you did know? This is a powerful tool. What if you did know? And I guarantee you'll come up with a couple things. Okay, number 3, track our progress. and not perfection. Our brain needs evidence that you're doing better than you think. And if you are not looking for that progress, your brain is defaulted to that negative bias, and you're going to be looking at everything you do wrong. I really struggle with this. For whatever reason, my brain wants to look at the 2 things that aren't going well, and it will ignore the 24 things that are going well. I just really have to take my thoughts captive with this particular tracking instead of looking for that perfection. So start tracking your small wins. What I like to do is every night before I go to sleep, or sometimes I reflect the next morning on the previous day. What are 3 things that went well? Or what are 3 ways did I show up? Did I fuel well? Did I move my body? Did I do something instead of procrastinate? You guys, these are huge. I just went through this when I went through my belly fat workshop, which is so fun. I love, love, love teaching that. It is a lot. It is a lot to get together. It's a lot on the back end. It's a lot of energy putting out. And then, you're kind of waiting for results, and you're waiting to see who's going to sign up. And oh, I'm so excited. And it's so easy to look at all the things that I didn't do right. Like, oh no, I forgot to do this on the text side, or, oh, I didn't say this. I forgot to say, like, no. I went through and I listed all the things that went better this time than last time, all the ways that I grew and I showed up for myself. And it made a huge difference in my perspective, in my mood, and even in the thought of, oh, okay, this is coming up again in a couple months. I can't wait to do this now, instead of some of the other thoughts that maybe aren't so helpful in that. All right, number 4. This is a tool that I use in my coaching that I love, love, love. I did not come up with it. It is called the model. And the model is what we use to become aware of thoughts and help change our thoughts to create different actions, which will create different results. So if you think about it, we have over 60,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. Some of them are not helpful, right? A lot of them are. A lot of times we are mindless. We are just doing things and we don't even know what we're thinking. We're mindless. And therefore we end up making choices that we aren't happy with, and we create these results that we're very frustrated with. So instead of focusing on that circumstance that a lot of times you can't change, it's out of our control, we focus on our thoughts, our responses. So you have a circumstance. This is something like you missed your morning walk, you ate off plan, something happened. It's just a fact. Then you have a thought. Your thought is what you make that mean. So you think, I blew it again, or I'll never get this right. You're feeling. What do you feel when you think that? Crappy, defeat, right? Or shame. And then when we feel crappy, then we act crappy. Do we stay on plan? Do we cast off restraint and just go back to doing whatever we want to do? Do we stop tracking? We probably acquiesce. And the result of that is we reinforce those old patterns of inconsistency. So when I take a look at using that model, I go to, okay, what thought is my little fox that spoils the vine? Is it maybe some of the ones I just said earlier? Or do you have another thought about being consistent? Maybe it's, I've never been consistent. It's too hard. So let's just look at that. Is that helpful? Never. It's not helpful. Can we stop a thought? No. You can allow a thought to be there and you can reframe it. You can choose another thought, which is also a practice. You guys, I've been doing this for years and years and years. It's gotten easier, but it still takes time. But the work I'm doing is the work I need to do to change those results. It's not just spinning my wheels and trying to change my circumstances. Hey friend, quick pause, because I don't want you to coast through December and lose your momentum. This year, I'm inviting you to join me for 31 Days of Fitmas, a month of movement designed for the midlife woman who wants to stay consistent, strong, and stress-free through the holidays. These are short, doable workouts that help you move with intention so you can keep your energy up, support your hormones, and head into January already feeling confident instead of starting over. No guilt, no all or nothing, just simple daily movement to keep your metabolism fired up and your sanity intact. Want in? Make sure you're on my email list to get the sign-up link and all the Fitmas goodies delivered straight to your inbox. You can join me at chris@getyourtrimon.com because this December, we're not just surviving the holidays, we are thriving through them. Also, the work I'm doing is to align my thoughts with God's thoughts, align my identity with who He says I am. That's the work that's going to bring the fruit in every area of my life. I can tell you, I have done this. I have been in my own strength and independent and striving for years and years and years. And I promise you, it about killed me till I finally let go and started learning these tools and these, the Word of God, honestly, is alive and it's active. So here, let's shift to how can we flip those negative thoughts? Here's a new thought. One off-plan meal doesn't undo my progress. It really doesn't. Here's another one. I can get right back on it. So a new feeling when I'm thinking these new thoughts is I feel hopeful. I'm empowered. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not a big deal. Or maybe it was 3 days. I can get back on it. My new action. I'm going to take my next meal and I'm going to make it be an on-plan meal. I'm going to take my next goal for exercising and I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to stay in the game. I might have felt like I took a couple steps back and maybe I did, but I'm going to get back on and I'm going to keep going and create momentum because of the thought, one off-plan meal doesn't undo my progress, or I'm learning how to be consistent. Let's go, girl. The result is you are building consistency. And remember, consistency is a skill. So it's just like you're learning how to play baseball or football or any sport. You can't just go out there and start playing. You've got to practice. So let's look at it as not failing, but we are practicing. Number 5, build ritual cues into your day. This is very helpful because this shifts your thought from right there in your prefrontal cortex down to your subconscious, basically, so that you're not always having to think, but it makes it automatic. Like, think of how automatic brushing your teeth is, or hopefully that is what we are creating. Pair your habits with existing cues. So maybe after your coffee in the morning, drink your protein shake or go for a walk. After work, maybe go for a 10-minute walk or do a 10-minute workout. Or you can, whatever habit that you're working on, you're going to pair it with something that you're already doing. So after dinner, maybe you do a trim healthy drink instead of a snack. Or maybe, and again, you go for a walk. Maybe after dinner, you quickly prep your breakfast for the next morning. How awesome would that be? It's already done. I do this with so many things. After every meal, and this is when I can, of course, after every meal, I go for at least a 10 or 15 minute walk. I started with 1 meal, then I went to 2 meals, then I went to 3 meals. It was so easy because it just becomes automatic. Okay, so build in those ritual cues for your day. The other thing is giving yourself grace, but not excuses. Grace says, I messed up, but I'm still showing up. Yes. Excuses say, I'll start again Monday. So when you give yourself grace, you build trust. And trust is that foundation of consistency. You want to learn to trust yourself. You can't hate yourself into a new body. I've tried this, or punish yourself into a new body. I've tried to punish myself. Oh my word. Back in college, I'll never forget this. I would eat as crappy as all get out. And then I would go run the stairs I went to UT. South Carrick is where I lived the first year. And I would run those stairs at 11 o'clock at night because I was punishing my body. I was punishing myself for eating the macaroni and cheese and the whatever. So you want to show up compassionate with yourself, and then you can expect some results. So here's what I want you to remember. Consistency is also a spiritual muscle as well. So God never asked us to be perfect. He just says, be faithful. Just be faithful. So let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. So we don't want to give up, and we want to believe for that harvest. God brings the harvest. So the small, ordinary things you do each day, like the walk, getting the protein in each meal, the journaling that you do in the morning, the deep breathing, the hydration, all of those things, the working out are seeds, and you are sowing your seeds. And we are not in charge of that harvest. There's the seed sowing, and then there's the watering, and then there's the sun, and then there's the process. So God is working in these unseen places. So let's talk about practical applications, how to build daily consistency. Let's choose one anchor habit. Just choose one thing. Is it you getting your protein? Is it you getting your plants? Is it you getting your strength training? Is it you working on your hormones, supporting your hormones? What is it? Let's pick one work on the one thing. This is our anchor habit right now. When we get better at that, then we go to the next habit. The other thing is stack it with a cue, which is called habit stacking. So for me, my habit stacking is really every meal I'm anchoring with protein. Every meal I'm anchoring with protein. If you're trying to get hydration in, maybe it's I'm drinking 8 ounces of water before every meal. So do you see, you just have that habit that you're doing every single day and you just add one little habit. Or maybe it's like me, you're going to go for a walk after that meal, which does make a huge difference for glucose and insulin sensitivity, getting your body moving, burning calories. It is so medicinal. It is so good for your blood sugar. It is so good for insulin resistance. The other thing that's practical is write it down and track it. Use a sticky note or a journal or your phone. Checking it off rewires your brain to see yourself as someone who follows through. Write it down on my little notebook every single day. I write down the habits that I'm working on, and when I've done it, I check it off. And then hopefully at the end of the day, I'm going to list those 3 things that I've done well, but if not, I'll do it the next day. It's every day that I do that. The other thing is plan for detours. Pre-decide what showing up looks like when you're tired, when you're busy, when you're traveling. Even the smallest action keeps the momentum alive. It keeps you thanking yourself. It keeps you in hope. So just think a little bit like, what am I going to do? Maybe have some type of backup snack, or I'm always taking my protein powders with me that I can add in water or almond milk. And I have my snacks in my purse. And if I know I'm going out of town, like this weekend, I'm not going to be in charge of my food, but I'm going to go by the grocery store and I'm going to pick up a few things that I know that I need for me, for my breakfast, for my coffee, those kind of things. So I'm just thinking a little bit ahead of time and I don't have to rearrange everything. And then here's the biggest one. End your day with gratitude before bed. Go through and thank God for every single morsel of anything that He's given you, done for you that day. It shifts your focus from what went wrong, I am such a blank, to I can move into this place and see where I am making progress and I can be thankful. Let's go into that thankful. It is so, so powerful, ladies. Last, consistency is never about messing up. It's about not giving up. It's about learning and growing from every detour, adjusting the plan when life shifts, and choosing progress over perfection. The women who lose belly fat and keep it off, they're not perfect. They're persistent. They see every misstep as feedback, not failure. So that's the kind of consistency that changes your body and your mind. Hey friend, before you go, don't forget, the Black Friday flash sale opens this Monday and my email list gets early access. You'll be the first to know when 31 Days of Fitness opens for just $31 and when the Midlife Fat Loss Formula drops $400 for Black Friday week only. Make sure you're on the list at getyourtrimon.com/newsletter so you don't miss a thing. All right, friend, go check it out and I'll see you in your inbox.